Hi guys, welcome back. It has been a while. If you're new here and you're like, what? It's been a while since I've made a video. Basically, Q4 just kind of took over my life. I run a knitwear business called Nickichicki, and it just went bananas. It always does every winter, but somehow every winter I'm always taken aback by the sheer force of it. And so that's where I really had to dedicate my time. I love doing YouTube, but right now it is just a fun side hobby. And since Nickichicki pays the bills, that's when I really have to dedicate my time where it's needed. But speaking of sales, entrepreneur life, and dedicating time, today I'm coming at you with a video of generating multiple streams of income as an entrepreneur. Now this video is going to be from my perspective. I am a full-time entrepreneur, but even if you're not an entrepreneur, you could still gain some helpful tips. Maybe you have a side hustle, or maybe you're trying to get out of debt and you want to generate some extra income. It's gonna be full of tips in here, so there'll be a little bit of something for everyone, and I hope you like it and learn something new. So first, let's just jump into life as an entrepreneur. I would say this is probably true for everyone, just from all the different people in my life that I've talked to that own businesses. It is a
freaking roller coaster ride.
1 week you're on top of the world, you're making all the sales, all these amazing things are happening, and you just feel like you could conquer life. And the next week, it's crickets out there, and you're just like, hello, does anyone remember I exist? And it's stressful, especially when this is your full-time gig. You rely on sales and money to pay your bills, to live your life. I thought this would be an especially good video to make for this time of year, as we have just left Q4. All of the sales are slowing down. Things are going back to normal. We're getting off that roller coaster. We're disjointed. We don't know what's going on. So let's talk about some things that I'm personally doing to make that transition a little bit less jarring. Now, when you are a full-time entrepreneur, especially having a slow sales week, slow sales month, what have you, it can be really stressful because that is your main source of income. You're not going to a regular job and clocking in and just getting a regular paycheck for doing whatever kind of work. You are dependent on other people buying things from you. And when that's not happening, this can be especially true for my business. I sell chunky knitwear, so our season is really primarily in the fall and winter months. Now, there are things that I've done to help generate sales for my main business during the spring and summer months. We work on wholesale orders over spring and summer months. We do custom work over spring and summer. So I'm not just completely giving up on it, but at the same time, it would be unfair of me to expect it to perform at the same levels as it does in its season. So it kind of took me a long time to really click together all this stuff, but rather than just stressing out about it, I started thinking about what else I could do that made sense for me to generate other sources of income. So at the time of filming this, I actually have 4 different places that generate revenue for me. Nickichicki is my main one, of course. My second one, I don't really like to talk about what it is. That sounds kind of shady. It's because I don't want it to be associated with Nickichicki. There's a couple different reasons for that. A more fun one that I can talk to you about is the second business that I have done absolutely no outside or social media advertising for. It just basically, for the most part, runs itself as much as a business can run itself. And it's been a good experiment for me, for my other businesses, to see that something can survive on the internet in this day and age, make a profit without social media. Because sometimes social media can be another stressor in our lives, right? We're being told, and we think that there's so many things that we have to do to keep up with the times. You know, I think this is especially true for like Instagram, and having this second business that doesn't deal with any of that and is still profitable, generating revenue on a weekly basis has kind of made me feel like a little bit more relaxed. I'm still working hard. I'm still making sure that, you know, I have a presence on social media with my other businesses, but I don't feel as stressed out about it as maybe I did previously, that there were certain things that I had to do. Okay, so first business, Nickichicki. Second business exists, but we're not talking about exactly what it is. Third business, I actually just started the beginning of January, and that is Poshmark. I have been a long-time thrifter. You guys have seen me go out, and previously I was always finding a lot of amazing things, but if they weren't in my size, I was leaving them at the store. I came across an article, I think during kind of like the Christmas season last year, that said such a small percentage of clothes that are donated actually end up sold, and that really made an impact on me. Thrifting is already something I love to do, so I was thinking, gosh, like if I could start bringing home the clothes that I see that are awesome brands in great shape and just not in my size, and reselling them, paying myself a little bit for my time, and also continuing to help out my family, why not try it? I also have a goal to wear 100% of my wardrobe because I've been using the Cladwell app and that monitors it. And so that's been really helping me take things out of my closet that are not getting wear, but I can still make some money back on. If you read any type of businessy type articles, they all say the same thing. The reselling clothing movement is on its way up. And I think it's important to pay attention to things like that. Bigger brands are. Nordstrom just launched their reselling program. Companies like ThredUp, Poshmark are on the rise. Macy's and JCPenney's have also partnered with ThredUp in some of their stores because, you know, they haven't been doing that great. So it's really important as a business owner, I think, to kind of keep your eyes out there, open up your mind a little bit out of maybe your niche sometimes, and just see what else you can kind of put your fingers into. I have a lot of weird analogies. All right, so now we've got Nickichicki, business not mentioned but happening, Poshmark. The fourth one is affiliate links. Now so far, affiliate links for me are not like a huge income generator. It's not something that I depend on in any way, shape, or form. It's more like an added bonus. I would say with this one, it's really about making sure that as a business owner, you're spending your time wisely. If you're going to make a choice, make sure that that choice is going to be impactful on your business in some way. So for example, if I am going to write a blog post, let's say for Nickichicki.com, I want to make sure that that blog post is even going to be worth my time to type out. I want to make sure it either is going to direct people to my website, the products that we sell on Nickichicki, or it contains affiliate links in some way, or bonus points, both. I'm gonna make some kind of awesome cover image for that blog post, and then I'm gonna shoot it off to Pinterest, where pins just keep growing and growing. One of my most popular blog posts is about how I saved my hair after bleaching it to death. I wrote that, I think maybe 2 years ago now, and it still sends people back to my website on a daily basis, and guess what that blog post is full of?
Affiliate links.
This is something that's not hard to get started with. I don't think that you have to have any kind of credentials to do the Amazon one. Amazon is really great too, because if somebody clicks your link, even if they don't buy that item, if they end up buying something else, you can get a small percentage of those sales. Besides that, there's also easy ones like Target, ShopStyle that you can get started with, and again, just kind of like some extra bonus revenue. All right, so that was for Nickichicki, business I'm not talking about but exists, Poshmark, and affiliate links. Now that we've got all those, let's just talk about some warnings, some words of caution. Now, I have 4 different things going on at once. 3 of them are all product-based businesses, and I'll be the first to tell you, that's a lot. You have to remember with Nickichicki, I also employ a team of people. So I have knitters that help me keep up with inventory. I have an assistant that helps me package up orders and run day to day. If it was just me running Nickichicki, there's no way that I would have time to have all those other things, especially product-based. So if you are someone who is running solo, but you are still looking for a little bit of extra added something, maybe consider a business that is more service-based. Again, there's still gonna be a time involvement there, but I feel like there are some service-based businesses, like maybe like something like a PDF that people can download over and over, that you just spend a little bit of time on once and then pretty much runs itself. You also wanna be cautious and careful to make sure that whatever your main thing is, you have got that on lockdown, because nothing would be more embarrassing to be scattered trying to do all this different stuff and doing none of it well, right? There is something to really be said for doing one thing and doing it exceedingly well. So make sure you actually have time to expend your energy into other places. Maybe you just need to think about your main thing and how you can bump that up more. Have you thought about every possible strategy for your main business. Now, I've been doing Nickichicki for a long time, full-time since 2014, so I feel like for the most part, I pretty much know how much time things take of me, but at the same time, that's not to say that it's stagnant. I'm still working on it full-time. That is my ride or die, my first true love. And so making sure that I'm allotting my time correctly on the different things that I spend with them, making sure that I have my priorities straight are very, very important to me. Of the 4 streams of revenue that I personally mentioned, Poshmark is the one that I would say would be the next time intensive. But again, that's in my power to say how much of my time I want to spend on it, when I can spend on it. So just be smart. You don't want to be spending all your time on a business venture that's really making you pennies compared to your main thing, right? That's just common sense. Now we've talked about what I do to generate multiple streams of income as an entrepreneur. We've talked about what they are. We've talked about some words of caution. Now let's talk about my favorite part, the benefits. For me personally, having multiple streams of revenue coming in from different places gives me a sense of security. It's a fact of life that at some point in time, your business is going to have a slow sales week. Maybe it's gonna have a slow sales month, and that's stressful. You need that money if you're a full-time entrepreneur to pay your bills, to buy groceries, to live your life. And so what I've personally found is if I am having a slow sales week at one place, my other businesses are not. And so then I can rest a little easier and not feel super stressed out. I also find that it gives me time to think more calmly if there's something in one of my businesses that needs to be adjusted, fine-tuned to make it perform again where I want it to be. I don't make good decisions and choices when I am coming from a frazzled, stressed out state of mind. I can think about things calmly and reevaluate maybe some changes that need to be made. That's when my good ideas come in. And when all of your businesses are performing amazing in one week, that is just the best feeling. It feels like winning life to me, and it's basically my favorite ever. The last top benefit that I've really personally noticed that kind of falls in line with my last video of how I built a successful business that I'll link up here or down here depending on how you're watching is kind of networking. Now, this is one that I think you have to be a little bit careful of because you never want to come across as pushy or the wrong way. Let's talk about my Poshmark business, for example. Now, I created a specific Instagram just for that. I do find social media is very into its niches, which can be a positive or negative for me because I as a person am not just one thing, but I do think that you will have more successful followings when you niche it down for people. Again, yes, that is kind of a lot to keep track of, but sometimes there's just things you have to do to get the ball rolling, right? So within that Poshmark Instagram account I've created and also on Poshmark itself, just put a little thing in the bio that just says owner of Nickichicki. Occasionally, if it makes sense on Instagram stories over there or in a post, I will talk about what I'm doing with Nickichicki. I never push it. I never tell like people that they need to go follow me over there or this or that because that's not the place. I just kind of leave it out there a little bit. And because of that, people who are on Poshmark that may not have ever heard of me otherwise will then come to my Nickichicki Instagram account and follow me or at least have the name in their brain and are aware of it. So it can be a great place to gain some new customers, and vice versa. Over on Nickichicki, I did let everyone know when I started doing Poshmark that, hey, this is my account for it over here, this is what I'm doing now, and that's really it. I don't push it, I don't like link it, I don't direct link it all the time, I don't talk about it constantly, but they know it's out there. Some people who follow me on Nickichicki now follow me on Poshmark, so it's kind of just a great way of bringing those niche communities to you in a way that just organically happens to create a new clientele for yourself that you may not have reached out to otherwise. It's the circle of life. Just kidding, I don't think that's what the circle of life is. It's the circle of business. So there you have it. That is how I have been generating multiple streams of income as a full-time entrepreneur. I hope you found this video helpful. I will link everything that I've talked about down below if you want to take a look at it for yourself. Also, let me know if you have any comments down below. I love hearing from you. And don't forget to hit the like button if you like the video. It helps me out a ton. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!